And here we are. I am back and I am asking you to reach, and not in the words of my friend Kieran is going to kill me. S Club 7? Reaching for the stars? I don't know. Anyway, now I have that earworm, and sorry if I've given it to you. Reach. Reach is one of my words of the year this year, and I love it. And it's a concept that was reintroduced to me by the lovely Nicole Brandon at an ATL meeting, Association of Transformational Leaders of Europe, for those who don't know, in Munich in October. And it's thinking about if we reach, what could be possible? And so many of us spend our lives afraid to reach, or we think we're reaching, but we're not really reaching. Like, this isn't a reach. I've got my hand raised. This is a reach. Right? I'm reaching. I'm stretching under my armpit. I'm stretching out of my obliques. I'm stretching out of my hips. If I was standing, I'd be standing on my tiptoes. My fingers would be stretching to their little endless point. This is how I have to reach for the wine glasses on the top shelf of my kitchen cupboard. Right? They're high kitchen cupboards, and I could have my wine glasses on the lower shelf, but that's where I keep my water glasses, because I try to keep my life water over wine. Foolish, but who knows? So when we reach, it can be a little bit precarious. Right? It can feel scary, because if something feels out of our reach, we know if we're really reaching, we're not quite balanced and grounded. So it's quite easy to knock us over, to make us feel off balance, or to fall and collapse. And then we might break something. So the concept of reaching for something, if something is out of reach, it's like, well, is it really, or are we keeping ourselves very safe? Are we keeping ourselves, which is not a bad thing. Sometimes it's good to stay safe. But if we allowed ourselves to reach, if there was something you would love, something you would love to create, something you would love to do, something you would love to be, some difference you would love to make for others, if there's something you really want, if you don't know what you want, stop shooting, start wanting. Where is it? There it is. It helps you figure out what you want. But if you're wanting to reach, if you're like stretching for that thing, it can feel quite dangerous. It can feel quite scary. And I know I had firsthand experience of this in April, when at an ATL Europe meeting, Association of Transformational Leaders of Europe, I had a realization, and we were doing something around money, right? Money is one of the biggest reach challenges, right? Oh no, that's too far a stretch for me. It's a really common phrase to say, especially about something financially. It might be time, it might be energy. But the thing that we have to stretch before we can reach is always our mindset. Whether it's a financial thing that you're trying to reach, or an energetic thing, or a time thing, or a distance thing, if we feel like it's out of our reach, the thing we need to stretch first and foremost is our mindset. And we were doing a money mindset exercise at the event in April. And I was like, oh, and what's holding me back? And there were tears. There's always tears. Tears are recognition of our truth. Sometimes it's painful, right? We're like, oh my God, that's how I'm holding myself back. Oh. But then comes the relief, because it's, oh, well, wait a minute. If that's a truth that I'm ignoring, how can I change that? And I thought in that moment, I know what I need to do. I know I need to, if I'm asking people to invest in me, I need to prove to myself that I am willing to invest in myself. And I know what I need. I have an amazing coach. I love her. She's great. But I'm kind of, from where I was when I started with her, I'm now much closer to her level. So she's really not out of reach at all for me. We're much more becoming peers. She's way ahead of me in lots of very useful stuff, which is why she is still my lovely coach. But energetically, and with, I feel, sort of where we're at with our businesses, we've come almost together. So it's like, I need to reach. I'm like, does this mean I have to let go of my coach? Oh, I don't want to do that. And then I realized, no, it means I need to really reach. I need to reach for the stars and ask someone who is way above me way, way, way above me for their opinion, for where they are at. So that, because it was so obvious to me, I needed to ask Marie, who is the president of the ATL Europe. And she, if you don't know Marie, she is Feng Shui Master to the Stars, that people she talks about that I know she's allowed to. Steven Spielberg, she's helped, among others. There's a name. So she's Feng Shui Master to the Stars. She works at that level. She is a business mentor to people who I don't know if I can share that or not, so I'm not going to. But people who run businesses you probably will have heard of, particularly in the mindset field and the self-awareness, self-development scope. People who are running businesses, again, that are just like way bigger than mine, right? They're on here with millions of followers. And she is also known as the secret behind The Secret. So if you've heard of the book or the film The Secret, Marie is known as the secret behind The Secret. She's in the film. So she's up there, right? That's what I'm saying, right? Out of my reach. But in April at the meeting, I went, whoom. The money that I'm afraid to let go of to invest in me needs to be invested. Where can I invest this? Who do I know? Who I trust? Because if we're going to be doing especially financial reach, we need to really trust that person. Who do I know? Who I trust? Who is so far above me that they'll just be able to look down on my business and say this, this, and this. And who also really gets me and the energy of stuff. And Marie it was just blindingly obvious. I was like, oh, gulp. I'm going to have to ask Marie, and I have no idea what she charges. I still have no idea. Well, I have a little idea because we had a conversation about it. But the invoice hasn't come through yet. So, but it was a gulp amount, right? It's an amount that for me is a massive reach. It's also an amount that, when I first started hearing about people charging that kind of money a day, I'm like, who'd pay that for that much? Like, who'd pay that for an hour or 90 minutes of someone's time? Oh, that's ridiculous. Well, I can tell you now, I am one of those people who will pay that much for an hour or 90 minutes of someone's time because I trust them and I know they are worth it. And I had the session with her yesterday, and the insights, the clarity, knowing that she knows me and my energy and my business. And she just went, yep, this and this, I see this. She took a look at my website. She went, you need to get rid of that. That needs to change. That needs to change. I'm doing website changes anyway, so I sent her that to look at. With some of my online courses, the names of this need to change. The pattern of that needs to change. This needs to be clear. And she was telling me stuff that I know and that I am working on. But to have that level of clarity and incisiveness was amazing. And then I asked her to just feel into a couple of my projects that I have in my ideas vault that I want to be creating in the next 6 to 12 months. And she said, no to that, yes to this, yes to this. Keep them on hold, they're good, but not now. Which again, some of it was stuff that I had in mind, but she was specific. She gave me dates. This was a big reach for me, but the reward has been amazing. So when we really are ready to reach, and this is my question to you, are you ready to reach? And if so, in what way do you need to reach? And what is the stretch for you? But the first thing you need to stretch is your mindset. It's our brain does that thing of showing us everything that might go wrong. We need to turn that around. Okay, so what will I receive? And there needs to be trust. And there needs to be a knowledge and a belief. And I invite you to ask yourself, what would you love but feels slightly out of your reach right now? Not way out of your reach, because that's way out of your reach. But what would you love that you feel if you gave it that stretch, if you gave it that mindset stretch, and you just reached up and you opened up that under your armpit, metaphorically in your brain, a little bit further, and really stretched your obliques and into your hip, and you really stretched those fingers and right on your tiptoes. If you did that and you were able to pull it down and have that thing in your hand, how would that feel? And that's what I did with that asking Marie. It was just like, right, first I have to ask her because I know how busy she is. She may well not have time for me. She may well not think I'm ready yet, which when I asked, she said, oh, if you'd asked a year ago, I'd have said no because you weren't ready. But yes, you're not ready to be a full mentor client. I was like, no, I know I'm not ready for that. What I'm asking for is one session if you do that and if that's possible. To which she said yes. So there's that fear that we might not be quite there. But remember that if things are feeling out of your reach, if you are ready to stretch, ask yourself, what is the stretch? Is this money? Is it time? Is it energy? What is it in your mindset you need to switch? What is it in your mindset you need to stretch? Because you need to believe that that thing that you want to reach for might be possible. You need to believe, and this is the challenging one, that you are worth it. And you need to know that if you get a no, or if it doesn't work, that's just for now. It doesn't mean you can't reach again later. It just means there's a little bit more growth that needs to happen. That little bit more growth that needs to happen might be mentally. It might be putting some more structures in that help you be in the place where you can then take that reach. So I invite you to allow yourself, if it's a growth thing, especially if it's mindset, which 90% of the time it is, find what works for you to do a little bit of mindset yoga and stretch your brain, because it's worth it when you do. So if you're ready to reach in any way, shape or form, I invite you to invite yourself to see if you can stretch. And if you are ready to reach in being seen and heard with more confidence, with more clarity, if you're ready to be able to speak with more conviction, if you know that you're ready to look into your inner self and be more confident and comfortable with the whole of who you are, so that then you can express yourself, if that is your reach, then I invite you to reach out to me and see what might be possible. I would also love to know, what is it that you would love to just reach for in your world, in your life, in your business life, in your personal life? What is it that you're ready to reach for? Let me know below. I'll be back soon with another Tuesday 2-minute tip or a midweek mindset. Take care. Bye.